Why do well in school? What's the point? You ever found yourself asking those questions? I know I did. And the answer always sounded something like this. Well, you want to get a good job later, don't you? And when I heard that, I'd always think, well, yeah, I guess. And that answer never really sat well with me. Like, it wasn't very compelling. And I know that as a young person, you've got a lot going on in your life. You're going to parties, you're joining clubs, hanging out with your friends. Maybe there's a cute boy or girl you're trying to date. And it's all very much in your face right here, right now. And I know by contrast, the future probably seems really distant and abstract, like it's hard to wrap your head around it. Well, I did pretty well in school, but I could have done a lot better. And I think a big part of that was that I didn't really have a compelling reason for why school mattered. Like, I would ask, but I always suspected the adults either weren't being honest or maybe they just couldn't articulate it. Well, this is the first in a weekly series of videos designed to walk you through having the best academic semester you've ever had while having time for the things that you actually want to do. But before we embark on that, I want to do you the respect of being honest with you about why school matters. Because the truth is, and you've probably suspected this, most of what you learn in class doesn't matter. Seriously. Yeah, you ever had the experience of asking your parents for help with your homework and they couldn't do it? When I was 15, I went to my dad and I said, "Hey Dad, can you help me with this algebra problem?" And he said, "Sure, buddy." Ooh. Sorry, buddy, I don't know how to do it. He didn't know how to do it. Same thing with my mom when I asked her. She had totally forgotten. So when I saw that, I concluded that you don't need algebra to have a good life. And I think a lot of other students draw that same conclusion. So why does school matter? What's the point? There's two main reasons why school matters, and they're really important. Here's the first one. School matters because of options. Getting good grades, having A's on your transcript, it opens doors for you later. And I'll give you an example. So let's say you want to be a scientist, right? You want to go to the lab and you want to do science so that you can discover cool new truths about how the universe works and that we can use those truths to build cool products, right? So if you want to do that, a lot of things have to have happened along the way. So you want to be a scientist, you have to have graduated from a master's or a PhD program. To get into that, you have to have gotten good grades at a good college. To get into that college, you have to have gotten good grades at a good high school. So looking at that scientist, rewind it back to when she's 15 or 16 and she's sitting there busting her ass on her physics or chemistry homework so that 10 years later, she then has the option of becoming a scientist and making her living that way. Now, I think if you really look into it, you'll find that there are a lot of careers that are like that. There are a lot of careers for which it's really, really helpful, if not absolutely required, that you have gotten good grades along the way. Now, I know it sucks in the moment, right? Like, there's a million things you'd rather be doing than doing homework. But the truth is, if you piss off school, if you say, screw it, it doesn't matter, what you're doing is you're saying to yourself on some level, my future self, 10 years later, I'm 100% sure that he's not going to want the option of becoming a scientist. So through my actions right now in the present, if I piss off school, I'm shutting the door on that. I'm denying myself that future option. On the flip side, if you could suck it up, if you could tough it out, then later you will be thanking your 15-year-old self. I heard this quote somewhere, and the quote was, "Suffer today so that you can rejoice tomorrow." And that's what school is. It's suffering now so that later you have the option of doing some really neat things with your time and making your money in cool ways. So, second reason why school is important, and this is actually, in my opinion, the most important reason, is it's about who you are and who you are becoming, what you're growing into. Now, what does it take to get A's? Seriously, what does it take? You got to be smart, you got to work hard, you got to be consistent. Getting A's isn't easy. If it were easy, everyone would do it. but instead, again, only the smartest and especially most hardworking students get A's. Now, again, the stuff you learn in class, it really doesn't matter, but you can use school to build yourself up into a badass. You know, it requires a lot of self-discipline to succeed with school, so you can use school to build that self-discipline until you have this deep, deep well of strength within yourself that you can then go use to succeed in whatever you want. So that's the truth. School is about having options, and it's about building yourself up into someone who is capable of handling whatever challenge life throws at you. Because you got to ask yourself, do you want to have an awesome life? I mean, seriously, do you want to start a company? Do you want to invent something? Do you want to get a challenging job and kick ass at it? Do you want to have a lot of money? Do you want to have an awesome lifestyle? Do you want to travel? These are all things that can result from being successful with life. And the cool thing is, the person who can succeed at all those things looks a lot like the person who can succeed with school. So you have this opportunity here now with school to build yourself up into someone who's capable of handling anything, into a badass. And that's what we're about here at Academic Badass. Helping you not only to get great grades, but to build yourself up into someone who's capable of anything. So that's the answer. Now, I appreciate you making it this far into the video. What's coming up next week and in the weeks after is how do you actually do it? What's the nitty-gritty of how to have a semester where you get amazing grades but still have fun? Now, a little bit about me. I got really good grades, and I did it with a horrifyingly low amount of time and energy invested into it. I mean, seriously, I really pushed the envelope at different points as far as how little work I could get away with. So in that sense, I was kind of like a guinea pig, testing out different strategies of cutting corners to find out what worked and what didn't. And along the way, I figured out how to game school. Because the truth is, school is a game. And if you're going to play the game, let's play to win. So if you like this video, if you want to hear more from me, go ahead and subscribe. I'll be releasing a new video every week, and it's going to be exactly the information you need, exactly when you need it. So I'll take everything I've got and I'll give it to you at the most relevant part of the semester. So stay tuned and let's kick some ass.